Hello! Hello, everybody. Welcome on in to our Mildmay Line preview. I'm gonna get onto some introductions straight away because we've got some cool stuff to look at. Obviously, driving today is Matt. He's going to do a great job and not overshoot any stops. He's going to do a really, really great job. Isn't that right, Matt?
Yeah.
Confidence. I love it. I love the confidence. A picture of confidence. But also, we have a very special guest with us this evening. Johannes, would you like to introduce yourself? Would you like to? Your name is on the screen along with what you've done, but you might as well have a little introduction.
Okay, I haven't even thought about what to say, but hi, I'm Johannes. I'm the developer who developed the Mildmay Line. I did it on my own, except I think I can confidently say it's 99% my route, with the help of Dovetail assets. And
1 second, Matt.
Yeah.
I can hear my own voice again.
I've got the.
And I'm yapping over Johannes, but I'm not doing that in real life.
No, I think I know what that is. Apologies.
Okay.
First stream fail.
Please continue. We didn't. You know
Great
what?
stuff,
We didn't
great
touch
stuff.
wood. We didn't have a single technical problem. Okay, it was going to be completely
Said
fine.
it now.
I've touched wood. I've got my big wooden desk in front of me. Please continue,
Good stuff,
Johannes.
good
What were
stuff.
you saying before past Harry yapped over you?
I don't know, but I also got distracted because I could hear it as well. So I'm the I'm confused. So I'm the developer of the Mildmay Line. I did almost everything myself with the lovely help of Dovetail. I'm part of the third-party program, which is great support here. And I'm very excited that we get a first look at it, and that we get you guys to play it soon.
Perfect. There we go. So we've got what do we got? I'm having a look. I'm looking. Gosh, all right. So first one we're doing full runs. So we've got. Have you got the list in front of you, Matt? Would you like me to just tell you what the service is? No.
I've got the document open in front of me. What I'll do though, let me switch over and we'll just have a quick look over at the scenarios before we go into there. So let me switch over to that. Hopefully you can. And Hannes, can you just say something so I can confirm everyone can hear you? Excellent.
Sorry?
Right. Game is a bit loud.
Yeah, I think Johannes is very quiet.
Oh, I can move my microphone further up or something.
I can
increase the
boost
volume.
you on Discord. That's it. All right. It should be loud enough now.
Okay. Now I boosted myself.
Now it's too loud.
We
will find a happy medium here somewhere. Well, Johannes is talking when I'm driving. I'll readjust it.
Something, yeah.
Okay, right. So before we get started, then scenarios. Can you just give us a quick talk through on the scenarios?
I tried to make it a little bit of a story. So we start with well, they're actually not in order. We start with like a route learning thing where you get a little introduction to the route, some key facts and stuff, and then we got like a early morning service where you get an early morning service where you get run the first service on the line, so you get it out of the depot. Pretty cool because you can do the power switch over twice because the Wilston Junction depot is with overhead wires, and then you pull into the Wilston Junction low-level platform, which is on third rail, and then going back onto the Mildmay Line. It's another power switch over. It's a pretty cool service. We have the normal day in the office, which is a pretty normal day. A normal drive that a Mildmay Line driver would encounter on a normal day. Some interesting things happening there. We have some engineering works where we start at Stratford, but there are engineering works on the route, so we only get as far as Gospel Oak, then get to reverse the service and turn back in to Stratford. And then we have some Christmas chaos where it's set like right before Christmas. We drive the Class 378 through a snowstorm on a pretty challenging timetable, so that with very limited view, you get to try and stick to a very, very tight timetable on terrible weather. So they're all pretty fun. Yeah. Anything else?
No, that's it. That's fine. All right, let's go back and do service mode then. So in here, so do you want to just talk us through what you can do in the service, in this timetable, and what layers maybe?
Okay, so timetable-wise, we have, as the main thing, we have the class 378. Let me just make the game bigger. Yeah, we have the class 378, so that runs 8 service per hour in each direction, so 16 service per hour in total, up and down the line. If you go on it, if you click on it maybe, we also can see very short services, which are the between. So if you look at the numbers, like 2 seconds, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, these are the Windrush line, right? Windrush line, yeah, between Canterbury and Highbury and Islington, where they join the line as well. So you can drive these as well. We have some early coach, empty coach movements around the peak time, the start and the end of the day, where we get the 378 ready to start from Stratford, so you can go down the line in an early morning. Also some movements into and out of the depot. Yeah, and I think then if you go back out again, we have the class 66 freight services, and the freight is basically, there are many points where you can enter and exit the Mildmay Line. So you can start at Gospel Oak and go down the Goblin, the Suffragette line. Then you can start like freight services coming from going through Stratford, going as far as Camden Road, and then join the West Coast Main Line there, or they go all the way down to Wilson Junction, join the West Coast Main Line there, or continue going down towards either Clapham Junction or Richmond. Then there is stuff coming from the East Coast Main Line as well. So there's a lot of different freight services, and it's kind of fun. Some of them are, because it's a very, very busy line with lots of passenger services, some of them need to like pull to the side a bit. There's a 4-track section between Canterbury and I think then just before Camden Road it gets oh no, after Highbury, between Highbury and Islington and Camden Road, there are 4 tracks where we then have some space for freight services to wait and let other passenger service pass. So it's quite interesting what movements there are with freight services as well. Yeah, and with the class 710, we have some empty coach movements that go from the Wilson Junction to Wilson TMD, the depot, towards Barking Riverside. So getting ready for the Goblin line, and you get some interesting maneuvering down there, like the getting these services back down into the depot is quite interesting maneuvering. You need to change cap a few times and change power a few times, and yeah, cool.
Awesome.
I think that's all of them.
Yeah, that's cool. Right, let's get on and let's run 2 Yankee 6-4 on the 378. Right, let's type in 2 Yankee 6-4. Oh, there's a bunch of 2 Yankee 6-4s. Which one is it? 2957. I'm on the right one. Superb. Right, you've got here light overcast and summer.
I managed to contain my excitement as soon as the Class 66 was mentioned.
I thought you did very well, actually.
I was very well behaved. I saw people in the chat mentioning it, and I was like, "Don't say anything yet. Don't say anything." But I was very excited.
So there's a lot. I did see a lot of comments about why another 66, and I think it's important to note. If I understand it correctly, the 66 is not included in this pack, is it? Or is it included in the pack?
No, I don't think it is. It's just it can be laid on for the freights. Johannes, are you there?
I think Johannes might be having a network problem.
It's because I said that we had no tech problems, isn't it?
See, I told you.
Oh, it's my fault, is it? I understand.
No, it's Discord's fault. It's always Discord's fault.
It's
If in doubt,
always
it's Discord's fault.
Oh my goodness me.
So
Okay.
So but that's one of the problems. I guess we'll see. I don't know. Can you see if you can message Johannes in the background? See if we can.
I will indeed.
Figure that out.
I
And
will.
probably needs to disconnect and rejoin or something. The other reason for nothing else is it's predominantly run by a 66. That's what there really is there. So I'd love to get another freight loco in at some point, but the problem is they're very local in their nature and where they work. Different freight locos. 66 has the advantage of running everywhere because it's awesome. You know. Right. Okay. So got to be a memes up there about me loving 66s and. I'm not that bothered, just to be clear. Right, okay, let's open up the doors. So let's have a look around Stratford. The big bridge over to Westfield. Got a 710 sitting in here in the station here. This is the main line stations. Over here, this is quite cool. When Johannes comes back, he can tell us more about this. This is the DLR.
Oh, there we go.
Oh,
Are you
there
back,
he is.
Johannes?
Yeah, I'm back. Good.
There we go.
Amazing.
Tell us about the DLR, Johannes.
Yeah, that DLR. Oh, interesting. Yeah, that's an old Transport Fever 2 model of mine that I thought would go nicely here on the route. So I just put that in as an AI, very basic AI only train. So you can see it here, but you can also see it on the other side, on the other DLR line to Stratford International, going up and down the line there. Yeah, I think that's the closest you can get by with the camera. There should be some collisions there, so you can't go any closer.
Cool. So just to be clear, no, you can't drive it and you can't ride on it.
Yes.
Cool. And also because a number of people keep asking me about, can we have a route where we can drive a DLR? Nobody drives the DLR. Okay, it's automatic. Got some stand-ins for the central line here as well. I've been on this platform so much. I used to commute from here into Liverpool Street. Shed at Stratford.
Beautiful.
Now we've also got some other stand-ins here. I won't mention any names because it's unbranded. But if you know, you know. This just to be clear, this is not a reskin or a remodel. This is still the 710, isn't it? You can see it's still the TFL 710 on the inside. There's another one here as well, isn't there? The 345. I think I saw one leaving the station earlier on.
Yes. They should be there every 2.5 minutes, so there should be one before we leave anyway. I think that one is waiting for the freight train to go out.
Oh, I've got to go. Speaking of. Put some lights
a couple
on
of comments that the volume is a little quiet, Matt. I know that you wanted Johannes to be able to...
Oh, yeah, no, I need to get that sorted now.
You know what they're going to ask for.
I already blown the horn.
They've not asked it yet, but they're gonna. I'm waiting for it.
Oh, got some buses. I love the 378, I have to say.
It's a nice train. I've been on that train for very often. And during my time in London, I lived a year in London. And they're nice. Should be easy for you to drive. Even though you said earlier, like overshooting on platforms, I still overshoot that one because I get distracted. And
it's mostly distraction. It's actually really, it is a very straightforward train to drive, and it is mostly distraction. The brake's actually pretty solid. So
it's usually I'm making fun of him, Johannes. I'm a mean person.
Oh.
At least I don't call it. Is it a Gbrf? It's a Gbrf.
That's the station that I found.
Matt, if you go out now, you can spot people walking on that bridge.
Oh, right there.
Oh, very good.
That's one of a few places where we have some pedestrian traffic.
Yeah, just to be clear, 378, 377 are very much the same train in many respects. This one is called a Capital Star as opposed to the Electra Star, but you'll notice just looking around, this cab is very, very similar to a 377. There's no point reinventing wheels. 345 does not have branding, I don't think, no. Correct me if I'm wrong.
345 has branding.
Oh, it does have
Has
branding.
TfL branding. TfL approved of that.
Cool.
Yeah, I thought so. I was getting ready to remove the branding, but TfL said it can stay, so I'm pretty happy with that. Yeah, although they are pretty similar, the cab of this model is completely new model because
Yeah, you can tell.
they are very similar, but almost.
The minute you step outside the driver's seat, you can tell it's a difference. Because when I first sat down, I'm like, okay, this is pretty similar. And then you stand up, you're like, okay, no, there is nothing similar about this model at all. Very different. Passengers inside, you've got the long corridor, the same as the 710 as well.
Been on one of these. I just had a really strange moment of going, oh wait, I think I've been on one of these in real life. Never usually happens, and I think we might have lost.
Mihaela, the Bakerloo line trains are standing in for the Central line, 72 stock. Not 72 stock, 92 stock. It's that, or you have nothing, no trains there, so they don't look that far different.
Lost Johannes again. Just having a bit of a wacky internet day, so might be bobbing in and out.
Got some cabbies down here. On my way to Homerton.
Here, the horn request, by the way, Matt.
Yeah.
Here they are.
Oops, hello. Now I'm going too fast. 1 minute I'm going too slow, the next minute I'm going too fast. I guess that's how it works.
AP's new 378 signs to be added. I think I would need Johannes for this one, but I'm fairly certain that the 378 has been sourced from AP.
Yeah, it's using AP sounds as well, yeah. One of the things that struck me when I was driving it was just the because one of the sort of iconic things about this route, because it's basically going around the city, is you're on a viaduct pretty much the entire way, so you're always over the tops of roofs and so forth, and it captures that feeling really nicely. TV aerials and all sorts of things in presence. We'll have to wait for Johannes for that question. Chronicle Toxic about neutral sections. I don't know the answer to that.
I can at least get it copied. I can at least make a note. She says as it completely disappears. Oh, it's because ignore me. It's because my document's on dark mode.
On our way to Hackney.
We will be doing a night run or an evening run. This evening.
Dion, what's the performance like for consoles? What can we hope for next gen users and old gen? So I've not played it on the console myself yet at all, but we did ask the QA team how they were finding things, and they said it was running well, and there are no cuts on any platforms. Hello, 710 going over the top. How would you think this would perform on a low end GPU like 1650? You don't need RTX to run it. I mean, as long as you haven't got your settings turned up crazy, fantastic, it'll run about the same as every other sort of like how does London Brighton run for you, or Glossop Line? I mean, it's going to be similar to that. I'm not imagining it running badly. 1650 is actually not a bad GPU for all intents and purposes. Oh, hello. He's back.
Hello there, I'm back. Yeah, sorry about that. Seems to be very bad internet hiccups at my place these days.
It's my fault, Johannes. It's my fault
Nothing
because
good.
I said, "Oh, we've not had any tech issues at all today," and apparently, touching wood doesn't help. Doesn't help.
Yeah, my partner just said it was the internet was bad the whole afternoon, so it's a provider issue, which is sad. Nothing I can do about it.
That's fine. We'll work through it. Maybe while you're
Yeah,
here, take some questions or something. Go through some of the questions while you're here, because you're probably better to you're definitely better to answer questions than I am.
Sure. What are the main questions? Let me see if I can find some.
I could go through and ask you some.
Yeah, go let's do that.
I could be like Michael Parkinson. I forgot every single person, like interviewee type person, but here we go. All right, I'll do my best, Michael Parkinson. Okay, so we've got some questions that were asked earlier and have been since answered. First question was Stratford International, St Pancras and King's Cross visible as scenery?
So St Pancras International is underground. There is and hidden behind skyscrapers, so there's not much I can make visible. I think I have the basic model in anyway for reference, but you won't be able to go there with the camera and fly there. King's Cross, very distant. I think you should be able to see something, but it's also again hidden behind a lot of buildings. And then the St Pancras, I put the model in from the southeastern high speed route, so that's in. Track layout is all in, so yeah, all these tracks are in, and yeah, I think that should answer it.
It's a little background seasoning. That's what that is.
Background seasoning.
Background seasoning. This is my favourite. It's my word of the day is seasoning. The next question we've got. We'll probably ask these later on in the stream as well. But will the individual coaches of the class 378 be available in Formation Designer?
Yes, I think they are. If I'm not mistaken, they should. You can configure them the way you like, but also you should be able to spawn a 3-car variant, a 4-car, and a 5-car in free roam anyway. So maybe you can, if you want to do a longer one, I think you should be able to. Yeah.
Okay. We've already answered this one. Will the DLR platforms be accessible?
Yeah, no, won't be. You can't really access this part of Stratford. It's a mix of making a trade-off that doing the whole thing, like where do you stop at the station? And I'd rather make that bit that is part of the route the overground platforms, really detailed, really nice for the players, so they can immerse themselves there, and then we don't get any performance issue or any other thing having a massive station on. And I would fear with the traffic going on if I would detail all the stations, then all the platforms. Just a lot of detail for consoles and PCs to handle.
There's a big wall of questions. It was very, very popular. Are the sounds authentic?
Authentic, that's a good question. I would say yes. Can say a bit of a background to the sound. So, as Matt said earlier, the 378 is basically the same train as the 377. There are subtle differences. It has a lower, 378 has a better acceleration and a lower top speed, which makes a difference in the motor sounds, and I try to reflect these as much as possible. So they gear up faster. You hear these. I don't want to make the sounds, but these going up faster, and we have custom door sounds. We have custom air conditioning sounds, and they are all on the courtesy of Armstrong Powerhouse, who was kindly provided some 378 sounds together with other 377 sounds. So it's a mix of both. From his most recent Train Sim Classic audio enhancement pack.
I did like that question because when I first read it, you've actually just done an impression of what would be in my mind when somebody says, "Does it sound authentic?" And I go, "Absolutely not. We've just made noises. We've just made mouth noises and hope that they sound like a train."
It would be a funny thing though if we like would go into a studio and just record them in with our mouths, like going beep beep beep.
Oh no! Oh no!
We have joked about having a version of a sound set on a train that does that just for the laughs of it, because it would be quite funny.
Can I do the horn? I feel like I'd be good at like a horn. I feel like I've heard enough Class 66 horns now to know that I could. That's perfect.
Pretty good. Pretty good.
Let's see.
That doesn't sound. That doesn't sound parody though. That sounds realistic. You know.
Oh, so it'd have to sound bad. I do a good air horn. Like when somebody says something funny, I'll go meh meh meh. Which
that's nice. But that's also really authentic. You should go more like beep beep or something.
Are you saying I'm too good? Okay, fine.
Yeah, you're too good, Harry.
I'll not be involved in it then. Fine.
No, I will hire you for the next project as a sound designer for.
Yes. Perfect. Wait, is there going to be Class 66s? Because that's my remit. I'm after that point. I'm a bit stuck.
I'm not sure if the community would appreciate me.
Be a new sound set, though,
not the 66.
No. They need to be nicer to the Class 66. It's a staple of British freight. I'm not going to get into it. I'm going to move on to the next question. All right, I'm watching you, community. You can't see me, but I'm gesturing that I'm watching you. I'm doing the thing where you point your eyes and then you point at the other person. I'm doing that. That's right. Okay. So the sounds are authentic, yes. What sort of functions are there on the TMS?
I would say we can have a look.
But just get stopped
then if Matt, you need to stop at the station. That's one of the functionality. If you have seen it on the left, it will switch to that like overview thing with the clock on, and you can see your power handle. And when Matt were to zoom in and try to press buttons, it would throw him straight back to that, which is realistic. That's what the 378 does. It doesn't let you operate it while you drive. And now you can see the second feature. You see the door screen, which is very similar to a Class 377. But that's the... Yeah, you have a settings menu, which unfortunately doesn't do much. And then you have a main menu, which... that's the original layout. So I think you can go to PIS. In the main menu, PIS, and then you have that screen where you can change your destinations. Yeah, and that should be reflected in the font as well, I think.
There we go.
There we go.
We're going to somewhere different now. This is going to be exciting.
And then, yeah, so I put in most of the menus that are there in real life. And but most of the things you can adjust here are yeah, not you can't click them basically. But I had a handbook of the class 378, and I made the menu as authentic as possible. And so for some people, they might wonder, there are some inconsistencies in uppercase and lowercase spelling of some of the buttons, and beta tester pointed that, some beta tester pointed that out to me. It's like, that's inconsistent. I said, yes, it's inconsistent, but it's inconsistent with the menu of the class 378, because in the real thing it's inconsistent, and therefore I keep it in. I simulate inconsistency. All right.
Okay. Do you know what? We had this question earlier, Johannes, and we couldn't answer it, and it's just popped up again. So before I forget, it was do neutral sections work?
There are no neutral sections on that route, and I think there are in real life. I didn't implement them. I didn't know how to do them basically. So then, but it should behave the same as the class 377. I don't know if they work on them. I haven't tested.
Okay, that is good. That is that one answered. I've written it down anyway. I was like, oh, I have to write these down. We have to write these down. We got some questions going through. Oh, that's a good one actually. When did you start working on the route?
When did I start working on the route? I think beginning of last April, April 2024, in the public editor. Yeah, I think about that time, and then obviously it was still a community project, and I think that section between Dalston Kingsland and Canonbury was the first one I started detailing things out. Back then I had no idea where this project will go, but from I just started laying tracks, doing everything at once, and the Mildmay Line was the first that kind of started getting into shape and getting details. And I think I must have got in touch with with Dovetail beginning of summer, June, July, and got into the third-party program, and then I think been working full-time on this since August. I'm getting it ready.
That's an incredible time frame, considering that you've basically done this alone.
Yeah.
Really, there's a lot of love actually in the chat about that. There's a lot of love. A lot of people are very impressed because it is tough out there for a solo dev. So that's a really, really, really good timeline for it.
It's a lot of things to learn. There's so many different aspects to it. Doing the scenery and stuff is one thing, but laying tracks, doing the signaling is one part of it. Then the whole gameplay side, doing the timetables, getting all these signals to work well in the timetable. There's a lot of debugging and simulating going on. Everyone in the community who has tried to do some projects or some timetable stuff will know it's you get a service in, you get a service running, and it's not doing what you want. They get stuck somewhere. There's a lot of learning there. Then doing the whole train myself, doing the rolling stock myself is a very steep learning curve, figuring out how all these components work together. And on all of that, I had to learn how Unreal works. So I never did any games engineering in Unreal Engine before. I did a little bit of 3D modeling for Transport Fever 2, and that's about it. So teaching me the skills to do it and while doing it. Yeah, it's been a very interesting last year.
I always think it's a level of wizardry, because you just have to learn. You have to learn and do everything yourself. And I mean, I can't. As soon as I see a screen full of code, I'm like, how does that make something? That is incredible. That's really well. But then when you add everything else on top of that, on top of the already daunting looking pile of code that I do not understand, then it's really impressive. I'm hoping that you're feeling proud because it is a good looking route as well.
I'm pretty proud, and I'm pretty confident people will like it. With the code thing you said, like code is where I feel at home. I'm a computer scientist, and I'm almost done with my PhD in programming languages. So the code, I'm working on the programming languages itself. So that's where I feel at home. But yeah.
When you say laying tracks, I always in my silly mind I'm just like, oh, that sounds okay. You just like take a track asset and put it on the ground, right? And it's like, that's probably not what that is.
I got heavily humbled by track laying, and also by the input of like joining the third party program and talking to some dovetail engineers who actually do proper track laying. There's so much more to it than just placing these down. And I'm lucky. I think the route, the North London line, is pretty forgiving because it's a very slow route where with a very old track layout. So you might have noticed some weird little bends and stuff in the track. It's not perfectly straight. That's actually, for most parts, there in real life as well, because there were old abandoned stations at some point, like the section between Dalston, Kingsland and Canterbury. There was another station, so it curves around something. But yeah, I think I'm lucky that I started with this route. It turned out to be the perfect route for me in the end.
That does. It actually follows quite nicely onto another question that we had, which was why did you decide to go for Mildmay Line?
Well, I don't know how many followed that project from the beginning. At some point, I popped up in the public editor dovetail forum with like showing track layouts of almost all of North London. I love London. London is my favorite city, and I always wanted to do a project there. And to be totally honest, I already did like a bunch of other projects around London. So during my Transport Fever 2 time, I tried to rebuild, like one-to-one recreate London in Transport Fever 2. And then I got annoyed by that in Transport Fever 2 you don't have timetables, so you cannot really schedule the trains in the way you want to. So I made a timetable mod that I can do that. But then ran into performance issues because that's obviously not a game where you want to rebuild cities like that. And with that mindset, I started doing the same in the public editor. I thought like, oh yeah, I've recreated London in Transport Fever 2 a bit, and I actually did it in City Skylines 1 as well a few years back. Had multiple attempts actually, and I thought like, yeah, why not do it here? And then I started laying down the track, and I loved it was a really fun bit with like, you have in the public editor you have a Google Map overlay, so you can see where all the real things are, and you can place them and try to make them as accurate as possible. And yeah, so I started doing things, and for some reason I ended up laying the North London line, the tracks for the North London line, as the first complete thing. But I also have a relatively close connection to it. I lived in East London, so I did my master's at Queen Mary's, and lived in East London, and was on that line for quite often. So I know it quite well, and I generally think it's a really interesting line because it is very close to the center, and that's my favorite. Like, Matt is doing the right thing. He's out of the cab and watching all the nice little details down there, and you're basically going through the city center, and you cross so many main lines. There's so many nice spots we are right now crossing the Midland Main Line again, and you will see AI traffic on there. You can spot Class 700s, you can spot some HSTs there. There's so much to discover there, and it's basically going from east to west through the whole of London. It's a perfect line to get a feeling of London.
One of the things I've always liked about this route is it's not just a straight line, it's a joining of lots and lots of lines together, essentially. So you always feel like you're crissing, crossing, joining, merging away, diverging. It's a really interesting line to drive. aside from the scenery being interesting, obviously because of the location, but just the railway infrastructure is fundamentally interesting as well. Which arrived at Gospel Oak, which you may remember from another route.
Yes. Not much work on my end being done here other than updating the signage. That was the one easy station I had to do because I could take it in from the other route.
I'm just gonna say an admin thing. If you have a question, I have seen it, and I have written it down, so you don't have to ask your questions multiple times. I've got eagle eyes today, eagle eyes, and just a big shout out to our mods as well. They are putting in the work this evening. We've had. Oh,
I was about to say, Harry. I was about to say before you shoot another question. I wanted to add on Matt what Matt said, and what I love about this route as well is it's not only like it's joined all that lines together, but it has incredible history, like lots of different services because it connects so many things. It's been on third rail for a while. I think it's been on fourth rail, then downgraded to third rail, then electrified in stages and being made part of the overground. And I've seen pictures where they had like the Eurostar running on it to test if they could connect between St Pancras and the West Coast Main Line. I think it has been considered as a link between to be used as a link between HS2 and HS1. So there's lots of history there and lots of fun things to discover.
First time I rode on this line in reality, it was operated by Silverlink, if I remember rightly. And it was on a PEP. So get your 313s off of East Coastway, repaint them, and have a bit of a retro experience.
Yeah, absolutely. Harry, I can't hear you. Are you saying anything? Are you muted?
There you
I can hear you. Yeah.
Oof. I was gonna say you normally hear me before you see me, so it's
It was so quiet that I thought, like, are you saying something?
It never happens. It never happens. Occasionally, it'll throw me off because somebody won't be able to hear me, but I'll see a comment saying Harry's quiet. I'm like, am I? That doesn't normally get said about me. That's it's quite the opposite.
If you turn around here and look the other way, I really enjoy that scene of like all these little shops, and then there's a little park to the right as well where people walk. I think there's someone walking even down the road here. So lots of small little details here.
Okay, 3-skin the 314 then. Okay, Danny. Fair enough. Just because it hasn't got pantographs. Getting all technical with me.
I agree, by the way, Callum. Somebody said we need more Class 66, and we certainly do. Okay? We need the pink one, especially. We need pink Class 66. That's what we need.
Is it running in a pink livery somewhere? No, I don't think. Is it like a real thing?
Yeah.
Is there?
It's the one livery, the Ocean Network Express livery.
And it's not in yet, Matt. What are you doing?
It's done. It's in. Rivet did it, I think.
It's in. It's in. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I didn't even know that.
I was going to completely randomly choose that one to be the 66 for our freight run later on.
Fair.
Well, absolutely, you should. Yeah, that's right. Well, you need to. Well, yeah, I know what I'm taking screenshots of next time I jump in. I'll go back to some questions. It's just like a wall of text, and I should be wearing glasses, but I'm not. Will the route master buses be on future routes?
Well, I love London, and I can't talk about my future routes, really, because I don't really know it yet. But I have plans, and I think it would be stupid for me to not use it on my future routes. If Dovetail wants to do something with them, I'm very happy for them to use it as well. So they can decide if they want to use it in future as well.
Nice. Okay. Oh my goodness. I should actually wear my glasses. Okay, here we go. You know what? I am going to put my glasses on. Oh, okay. No, I'm so sorry. I've completely. I normally hate wearing glasses. Okay. There we go. Nope. Sorry. I feel like I'm having a complete wobbler. But nobody can see right now. But I'm struggling with my glasses. I'm putting my glasses on. They're going on. I refuse. I don't like wearing them because they make me look a little bit like my grandma. But
Yeah.
my grandma.
There's no video for the others, right? I can see you, but like the rest.
You can see it. You know, they're not terrible glasses. Yes, I'm putting my glasses on. You don't have to type in capital letters, JP. I'm not complete. They're not gone yet. Oh, sassy. Okay, immediately I can read. Okay. Any plans for a basic model of the 1992 stock to sub in for the 72 stock?
I have no plans for that. If there was ever any plans for that tube line to be made by someone, I will look into it, adjusting the timetable to put that one in. But I don't have any plans for that.
That's a lot of train to make for a very little amount of use.
Yeah. If there is a route at some point, which I don't think the central line makes much sense to use because I think it's at least partly automated, right? So
I can't remember these days, but I think a lot of the tube is automated now.
Yeah.
The one is.
I mean.
Sorry. Continue, Johannes.
I was just saying, like, it would only make sense if there is a case where you could backdate it to a place time where these specific trains were operated manually, and I don't think they ever have been. I'm not entirely sure. To answer the question, I don't have any plans on that, and I don't have any plans on doing any underground lines. So, yeah, no.
We had people in the chat saying that you missed a HST, Matt.
I didn't. I went over and caught it, but I was in the middle of also trying to stop at a station, so I thought I would do that.
Yeah, do you want him to overshoot?
Yeah, they do though, don't they?
They do. They want you to overshoot. They're sneaky.
I did go
and
back
then
and have
what'll
a look though.
happen?
You did get to see the HST. It was just like a few dots in the distance by the time I got there.
And then you know what? And then what'll happen? As soon as you show them something and you overshoot, they make fun of you for it.
Yep.
I know your game, TSW community. It's TSW.
For me, that's the biggest challenge, to look around, spot trains while not overshooting. I'm pretty terrible.
Yeah, I get that. On this route, I get that. It's there's a lot of stuff to look at.
There is a reason I don't drive.
If you fly further back towards the flyover of the Mildmay and the Chiltern, so not sure if we can spot anything here right now, but oh yeah, there's the tube train. That's Jubilee Line services, I think. I'd only put in the Jubilee Line ones and not the Metropolitan Line ones. I'm waiting for Liam to finish his reskin. But you can also spot Chiltern reskinned class 166. I think on there. Yeah, 166. The Chiltern ones are 165. Yeah. Just to point that out.
That's exciting. There's a lot of people excited for Liam's reskin as well. A lot of people are excited about it. So, what a collaboration between two legends. Look at you both. You're great. You're doing great. So, we've discussed this, and we're going to go through it later. But
nice.
I'm so glad I'm wearing my glasses because I can actually see it. I'm not having to like lean.
Is that the Wembley Arch in the background? I think it is, right?
It is, I think, yeah.
Between the trains. I know I put it in. I just never found a good spot where you can spot the Wembley Arch.
Well, you know what? There's a couple of people asking about this, and there's a couple of people asking the big question. And I'm going to roll these questions together because I've seen these two questions together. Are there plans to extend this route, and would you like to do any other London routes?
Okay, so first question, I've seen it a lot, and for me right now it was always a question of finding one project that I can finish rather than going on with a project forever. And Stratford to Wilson Junction seemed to be like a one good stretch we can have a lot of fun with, and something that for me felt realistic I could complete in reasonable amount of time to get it out for you to play, and also for me to then move on and see how well that does. Like, I'm completely new to all of that. I'm completely new to the business side as well. So I would, after I get this out and I try to make this stretch the best I could, and I'm pretty proud. I think I did a relatively good job at making that a good stretch. And once I'm basically focusing on completing this bit first. What comes after, I have lots of ideas. I have lots of ideas to do. I can't talk about them yet, but
Don't talk about them. They're asking for a leak. They're tricksy.
I know. I can't leak them. Especially I can't leak them because I don't really know either yet.
That's a good. Honestly, that's a good way to answer that.
There's nothing fixed yet. There are ideas. We're talking. I will continue working in Train Sim Train Sim Vault, and there will be future DLCs, future routes for me. In what form, we will see.
I hope that has answered the number one question, the gold question. Somebody will definitely ask it later because they'll have missed this bit. But if they do, they can go back and watch it.
I'm going to throw in a question myself, actually. I wonder if maybe you could talk through what's it like as a third-party developer working with Dovetail to put stuff out. You know, what does that look like for anybody who is an aspiring content creator? You know, what would you say to them in terms of what to expect and so forth?
Okay, yeah, I can. That's a long one, or I can make it a long one. So I can start at the beginning. Lots of people in forum told me like, oh, I should get in contact with you, and because that would be something people would be interested in getting. Console players would be interested in getting something like a London-based route, and I started by just shooting you guys an email, and I heard back a couple of weeks, I think. At least 4 weeks later, I heard back. And then we got talking. And Dovetail has a lovely third-party support team. So they got in contact with Steve, who's managing them, and he was guiding me through the process. He was really good at guiding me through. And the main thing I got from the beginning is there is not, like, once I contact you, Dovetail is not really putting any pressure on me to do anything. They just say, okay, yeah, we're here, and we act as your publisher. We help you getting that thing out, and but you can do it in your own time. Like, and there is no pressure for me to release. There's the only pressure for me to release is my own pressure that I want it out, but also I need to make a living out of this, and I won't make any money of that before it's out. So that's why I needed to find a scope that works well and is realistic, and I'm not sitting there in my room spending 5 years to create the whole of London just to then see it's not feasible, nothing feasible to do, or run into performance issues. So for me, that is very much an experiment on what I can do, how the experience on how the process is. And I think for Dovetail, it's the first time that they actually work with someone from the community and someone who is not a full studio. Correct me if I'm wrong, Matt.
We have got a couple of others. You're among the first, if not the first, totally.
Yeah, no, a couple of them. We have a couple of exciting projects. So I'm not the first in the program, but I'm might be one of the first.
One of the first ones out for sure. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and going through that process was a learning for everyone involved. So I think at that point, my technical contact Ryan deserves a huge shout out and supporting me.
Steve and Ryan doing a tremendous job, actually. Oh, Steve, Ryan, and Laura as well. Actually, there's three of them.
Yeah, absolutely.
They do a tremendous job of dealing with. I can't even remember how many third parties they're communicating with on a daily basis now. In fact, one of the reasons that someone mentioned the 4 weeks it took to get back in touch with you, and one of the reasons Laura is on board now is to reduce that time. Because it was Steve doing everything previously, and it was just way too much. So the team is enhancing all the time. And to continue, they've been a massive help, incredible. I think we moved to having a weekly meeting on updates closer to the release, so we're keeping in touch the whole time. And there's this whole Discord server where all the third-party people are together, and we work together, we help ourselves together. And I must say, it's an incredible community. I experienced everyone to be incredibly helpful, the bigger studios as well. So I've talked to people from Skyhook, I talked to people from Just Trains, I talked to, Trains in Germany guys are great, and ATS, I talked to people from ATS, and these are the ones that are announced that exist. So all really great guys, all really helpful guys, we all help each other if we have a problem. But something interesting just pops to my mind, Steve always said, Dovetail is trying to create, and they do a really good job at this third-party community where everyone can help each other, and there's a lot of help and support. And then and Steve said we can support you, but I need to do the work. So I've seen a lot of people asking can Dovetail do parts of me? Parts of the route, is Dovetail doing the 378 for me or something? And that's when you guys, Dovetail provides them a lot of reference, so I can have a look at how they would do something. They give me all the insights, but it's up to me to build something with that. And there's a lot of help, and I'm then building the route with it. That's really useful. Hopefully, that's for any budding authors out there who want to first-hand experience there from Johannes.
Another thing as well is something else that goes unnoticed, and something that I for sure underestimated a lot is the amount of testing and quality assurance and localization. It's a huge process, and beta testers as well. There's a huge beta tester community, which is incredibly helpful. I have a very good relationship with almost all of them. They are all really excited to help and give their input. They're train drivers. They're incredible community where I could get references from. And but then towards the end, the process of getting a route from it's almost ready to getting it out, that I was surprised of how long and how big that process is. But also, I'm really grateful on all the to the whole QA team on beta testing and creating hundreds and hundreds of bug reports, so I can fix all these little things, all these little inconsistencies to make it the best route possible. Yeah.
That's good. Now, one of the things that you mentioned to me a while ago was you had some help on some PIS. Is this the board in question?
That's the board in question. That board was supposed to be first out on the ATS route, the Manchester commuter, and it now happened that I was able to release before they got it out. So
It's a big shout
I
out
said
to
earlier,
ATS for that.
yeah, big shout out for that. That's a great example on how helpful the community is. I was beta testing their route, helping them with some stuff that I was able to help, and they said, yeah, and then we got in touch, and I asked, oh, you have this really cool departure board, which I haven't seen on other routes before. It would be really, really cool to have it, because there are some locations where I can use it. And all these little things, they are incredible. By the way, Matt, on this service, we are waiting for one of the empty coach movements on the
Yeah, I
left
saw. Yeah.
until we can depart. There we go.
There you go.
Seen a couple of people asking about looking around the inside. If you go back, I mean, we're going to have another little look around again. We had a look earlier, but if you do go back, we have already shown it as well.
We have a very early morning service. This is very quiet so far.
Early. How early is it? How early are we?
6:16.
Oof! I didn't know there were 2 of those in a day. That is it's beautiful though. It is beautiful. A lot of people are very happy about that.
Does the front door open? I've seen that a couple of times. Does the front? I don't even know if it opens in reality on these things.
The front door is not. You can't open them in game, and it's an emergency door, so it's not opening in regular situation.
Okay.
And so yeah, it's not opening. I think I've seen. I've just spotted a question. Someone asking what's happening with the passengers, and to answer that question is a bit a difficult one. I still have some trouble with the passenger system. Some weird bug is going on, I think.
So sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. I suspect this is a core game issue. Mannheim had a problem that turned out to be a content issue, but we've checked it and it's not the same issue here. So we've got the engineering team looking at it to find out. It's not like they're never here. They are here sometimes. You saw them on the last run, but then other times for some reason they're just not. So it's being looked at.
Yeah, exactly. Harry, are you saying something? Yeah.
Can you hear me? Can you not hear me again?
No, I can. I saw your lips moving. Maybe I should make your picture bigger so I can tell you.
Just like. Well, this is the problem. Is I always feel like I'm really loud, and I get enough comments in the chat sometimes going, "Oh my God, Harry's really loud." So I try and like maintain a normal volume, especially if we come across if there's a class 66. It's usually noises that hurt people's ears. It's like it's usually excited. So
we get the 66 out for you later.
Yeah, I'm very excited about that. It's there was somebody asking about it earlier. There was like, oh, are we gonna do a freight? Are we gonna do any freight? I'm like, yeah, heck yeah, we are. I'll go through a couple other questions. I made the terrible mistake of clicking elsewhere in this list of questions, so now I have to run. Oh, the next question was, are there playable freight services? Yes.
I think we've seen some of them as well in passing them on the other one. So.
But just to confirm, the freights aren't part, like you don't get a freight loco as part of this.
No.
Am I driving them? No! I don't insult Matt's driving by asking if I'm driving. Oh, okay. I thought you meant no. Oh no, I'm not going to do the freight runs. I could definitely drive a class 66 with my eyes closed, but I'm not gonna.
But this is why no one lets to drive a class 66, because her eyes closed.
It's a hard way to do it.
I did a test one on that service, and it's a really challenging one because it's with the snow and there's quite some steep gradient here, so I had trouble getting it moving and braking. So
I noticed just now a minute ago I was accelerating in notch 4 and I was getting some wheel slip.
Yeah, there are these low adhesion zones that are active during the fall. So you should get some wheel slip because we are in sometime October, so September, October. So
Oh, is that all set up to where you've got the leaf signs?
yes,
That's cool.
What...
It's a very underused feature. We added that TSW3, I think, and it's not really used very highly in a lot of the routes. So it's good to see it being used.
Yeah, it's I was lucky. I was provided with some like track diagrams that had these in, and then I was asking. I had casual chat with one of the the track laying dovetail engineers, and he told me, yeah, I can put these in, and then I did.
Yep.
So
Yep.
there's a lot of depth to both the track side things you can do and the signaling stuff as well. I was surprised by the depth you can that these two systems have.
Yeah, we had a lot of support, as we know, throughout the development of the project, particularly in the inception of the project. We're from signalling engineers and railway engineers who sort of told us not just how things work in reality, but why they work that way. Some of the insight can be really crucial to helping you simulate them better.
By the way, I don't have any sound. Do you drive with the AWS on or not?
Yes. Oh, I think I have. I think I have got the AWS on. I'll check it in a minute. Normally do. I did the last run with it on, but now I'm doubting myself.
I was just checking because I just noticed the AWS.
I'm not, because it didn't bing over that AWS thing, because I must have forgotten to turn it on. I'll do that now.
Right now, or you stop it. You good. Whew. All right. We did have, we have a big old list of questions here. Big old list. Remember, chat, if you have a question, I've probably seen it and I've probably copied it into this document. This giant sheet. Freight services. So yes, it's playable freight services. Will the new livery be included on the 378? I don't know why I asked that, like William Shatner, but there we are.
Well, it will not. It's just
Perfect. Energy matched. It was a good William Shatner delivery. It's a festive way of doing it, but no, the new livery will not be included. Oh,
to be totally honest, I think it looks weird on the 378. I don't really like that new livery. I don't know why. I think it was designed to go on the 710s, and then they tried to mimic on. Something is off about that. I don't know. I don't really like it. I don't know what the chat thinks or people think in the community.
I saw the question, and because the question, like the context of it was the new livery, I was going, oh, which one? What does it look like? What am I searching for? What am I Googling?
Well, not the one that is currently on the train. That's the old one.
What's the other one? Livery. That just looks like this one. This is I get made fun of a lot because I commit train crimes where I go, they look identical, and it's a bad time to be a Harry. It's a bad time. Oh, somebody's put the number in. Okay, so oh yes, okay, this one. Will the Series S receive the complete base DLC timetable?
Yeah. So I haven't played the game on Series S because you need the dev kit, and I don't have any access to a dev kit. But I've been assured by the QA team that it has been tested extensively, and there has not been raised any issues with all the layers I had in. So there is no plan in reducing anything, or the other way around. The content will stay the same for the old and new consoles, and yeah, that is the plan for now.
Yeah, so you haven't made any cuts for the older consoles or the lower end consoles, so everyone gets the same experience.
Just to let everybody know as well, we talked about this earlier, but we think there's a core issue with the passengers, and sometimes this is the thing that just happens, but it's not a...
We're looking at it.
Yeah.
The team are investigating it to find out what's going on, and it'll be updated as soon as we have an answer.
Yes.
Someone asked the questions if that's happening post-release, and I can confirm there is currently no time anymore to put that in for release, but as soon as we find the fix, which hopefully should be within days or weeks of the release.
The reason I think it's core rather than unique to this route is because I was running Northern Trent's Pennine over the weekend, and on one of the runs I ran it twice. One run it was perfect, and on the other run it was just complete zombie land. There was no... It was 28 days later. It was actually only 1 day later, but in the game it was 28 days later.
Okay, yeah.
Don't leak our next collaboration. Train to Busan, actually. I just remembered I just remembered there is a zombie film that involves trains, which is
coming back to Netflix
film.
very soon, as it happens.
It's excellent. It's excellent. I just recommend that everybody watch it if they're okay with zombies and crying a lot, because I cried a lot when I watched it. I really need to just highlight the question that I'm on, because my eyes will just turn into blurry blobs, and I'm painfully reminded that I have terrible astigmatism. Oh, this one's for Dovetail to answer, Matt. This one's a Dovetail question. This one's a Matt Peddleston question. Will North London Line 378 appear as AI at Gospel Oak on the Goblin DLC if you have both London Overground routes?
I don't believe so. But I suspect, so at the moment, for example, if you've got both routes, the 710 is not currently drivable on all the main services on this route. I think once Johannes and us have figured that out, which I think is the plan, isn't it, Johannes, that we're going to make it...
Yeah, the plan is that they sub into...
Yeah, but not for release, just to be clear. This will be a post-release update. But once we've got that fixed, well, then I don't see why we couldn't put the same fix then onto the Suffragette line, so that you can do the same thing there. But as at launch, none of that stuff works. No.
To be honest, with Suffragette line, I don't. I've seen them sub on the West Coast Main Line South on something. I don't know when that timetable update, or if that's already out, or when that will be released. But there's already substitution in place on the current timetable on West Coast Main Line South, so that will happen.
Is North London Line Mildmay or Suffragette Line, or am I getting my lines confused now?
North London is Mildmay. Goblin is Suffragette.
Mildmay, I will change that. Okay. Oh, well, we've already answered that one. We've already answered the question about the next steps for Johannes. You're not getting any leaks, because Johannes also isn't 100% sure yet. I immediately went into like the bouncer. I was like, all right, okay, I can answer this one for you. I got this one.
To be fair, Harry, it's I have a million ideas. My brain is full of a million ideas. It's more of like figuring out my next steps, what is realistic, what I can do, because I'm a single person developing things, and I need to see where to go forward from this. And this question needs to be answered first. After that, I will then be more sure of what to do next.
Yeah, you've got your you just got to pick something that is doable for a one-man army.
Exactly.
Mhm.
If you ask me, like, there are so many, like, the whole of UK is a great place to produce and get out for trains involved, but we can't do it. So we need to pick something, and if I don't know what yet, then I can't tell you.
And it is we were talking about aspiring content producers earlier, and it can be time consuming. You've managed to do this in less than a year, so it's that is an incredible thing to have achieved in less than a year.
It's a lot of dedication. I mean, one of the things that I've been working with independent developers now for 25 years, and the single biggest thing that will kill a project and does kill a project is just running out of interest. It literally is. Projects they go on so long that you just, you've not got anyone, particularly if you haven't got anyone to work with. But sometimes it can be worse if you've got multiple people, because multiple people tend to come up with great new ideas, and suddenly the scope grows and grows and grows and grows, and actually you can't develop fast enough to chase that. So it's a real, and I know so the same thing applies to some of my own projects that I've started and never finished, is just trying to keep hold of that scope, so that it's, pick a scope that you can think you can do, and then not be tempted to, that's just that branch line down there, or it's just that extra station over there, because that's where months become years, very quickly, particularly if you're on your own.
Yep. Absolutely. And the sweet dopamine is always the sweetest at a new project, when you're exploring what to do next, and you go like all these crazy ideas. And
I was just about to say that is the ADHD experience. Is the next new thing is the thing that will bring me dopamine, and it is a constant argument, internal argument as to what to do next.
Absolutely. But that's why I enjoy the work and working on this alone, because I as a single developer was able to jump between lots of different tasks and lots of different exciting things. If that, like, I didn't go and build that like Stratford to Wilston Junction end to end and went through and did everything one after the other. No, I jumped between stations, and then even like, I discovered this nice assets of, like, let's take for example the boards at the end of the stadium platform, and I was like, I need to put them in everywhere, and I was really excited about that. I found them, and then the next thing, and then I could jump in and do some train modeling, and then I could jump to the next other thing. And I think in the end, Matt is totally right. It helped me a lot to have the limited scope going from Stratford to Wilston Junction, to not get lost in too much, doing too much.
We had some requests. We had some requests for your next route in the chat. Not a single person said Wigan. Very disappointed. But I'll request it. I'll request Wigan. You don't want Wigan. You don't want to do Wigan. You'd have to put rubbish everywhere, which people actually love. People like having very realistic looking stations. So.
To be 100% honest, I don't need requests. For me, I can I can just open in the browser, open railway maps, zoom into the greater area of London, and I see little lines that are all requests in my brain.
That you want to work on, you're going, what's next? We are going to be doing a 66 run after this. I've seen a couple of comments asking for a 66 run. There are some 66. There are some shed stands in this chat, and I'm happy with that. So, I did have that question earlier as well, actually, which was other collectibles.
Collectibles, yeah, we have newspaper stands, we have defibrillators, and we have route maps and fire extinguishers.
I'm gonna write that down. I feel like it's been written down somewhere. Has it been written? I've written it down. Never mind. Ignore me. Just ignore me.
The Diamond has just posted something amazing on the chat. It says, I think someone's doing the Wigan branches as a PC editor route. That sounds actually tremendous. I've done a lot of research in that area myself. It is, as much as it gets a bit maligned because it's Wigan, it's actually a fascinatingly interesting bit of railway. We used to.
It's all right. It's all right for Wigan to catch a stray from me, Matt. But woof.
I've been to Wigan once, right? That was enough.
That is enough. That is enough for anybody. There is somebody in the chat that's from Wigan as well. Do not worry. I am from Wigan. I understand. I understand the pain. It's okay. I lived in Goulburn, so you know that's enough for me.
I just had to Google that in the background.
Wigan Station, which it has 2 stations. It's
Wigan North Western is one I went to, and I really liked it. Really liked it. There was so much to see.
Wigan North Western is definitely the more interesting station. And then we have that shiny new one, which is the one I always forget.
But
Wigan
Wallgate. I just look it up right now.
Wallgate.
They're just right next to each other. Interesting.
Yeah, across the road from each other. Which is why I think it would be interesting. I think it would be an interesting. I'm like, where do they go? Well, one of them goes to Manchester and Liverpool. But where does the other one go? I've never been to the other one. That's exciting. Probably down south. I don't know.
I literally drew up a product proposal many years ago for a Wigan branch lines route, just all basically focused on Wigan and Wigan North Western, and just all the millions of journeys you can do from that point. But yeah, it didn't go anywhere. Everyone just looked at me as if I was crazy.
Wigan has got a lot going for it. We've got Ian McKellen. We've got George Formby.
Is he from there? Cool.
He is indeed. He is. He actually. I like to tell people I met him, but I actually walked past him because he was doing a protest outside Wigan Little Theatre, and they were going to close Wigan Little Theatre, and he turned up, and he was like, "No, you can't close Wigan Little Theatre." But I like to say I met Ian McKellen. I didn't. I did not realise that he was there. I saw a massive group of people, and I walked past, and I kind of put my head up and went, "Oh my goodness, it's Ian McKellen!"
Oh.
And he was so far away. I was in a massive rush, but I wanted to see what was going on. But you know, it's got stuff going for it. It's the train stations as well would be great because you can get out of Wigan in them. I'm not painting a good picture, Johannes. It's not that bad. It's really not that bad. We do good pies, and Wallace and Gromit are from Wigan. Yes, that is true. Wallace and Gromit are canonically from Wigan. We'll go back onto the questions instead of.
Well, I will have a look at it once I run out of London railways.
Yes, that is never going to happen. There are too many London railways, but halfway through that sentence, I was very excited. So well done.
well, I might.
You might do. You might have a look. I'll look at them. I'll look at them, and then I'll go. No. I'll stick to London. Don't worry, Johannes. Don't worry. You haven't upset anybody. Probably.
Oh, maybe.
Maybe.
I can always blame it on not being from here. It's not my fault. I'm not British or anything, so not my fault.
You could be like, I don't know what. Look, I don't know Wigan. I'm gonna stay out of this. Okay, I'm gonna let the southerner and the northerner duke it out. Have a little fight. We don't fight, do we, Matt? No.
I should have said, yes, we do.
Well, you know what? People keep saying. If you keep seeing this, because I do, Johannes. If you keep saying in the chat, people asking me whether or not a train is green or grey, it is because.
Yeah.
Sorry, I got distracted. It is because I can't remember what that was. It a 47?
It was a 47.
It was a 47. I was trying to do this game at the weekend while Matt was raising money for special effect, and I thought I'd make a little game where I would describe the appearance of a loco, and Matt in the chat would have to try and guess what it was. And I was describing it, and I was like, it's grey, it's green, it's a green train. It's got like it's yellow at the front, and I was describing it. And Matt was going, well, description-wise, it sounds like a 47, but I just don't recognise the colour is. It was grey. It was grey, and the grass was reflecting off the grey colour and making the train look green, and I thought I was losing my mind. So no, everybody thinks that I can't see grey.
It's the internet's new
easiest-
dress colour.
It was the dressing all over again.
Oh yeah,
It was the dressing all over again. Oh my goodness.
It was fun though.
This is why I need to wear glasses, isn't it? Look at the grey
They have
Christmas
this
tree.
color.
It was hard to tell. It was okay. After looking at a picture not next to grass, I can confirm that yeah, it's
It was rail freight grey.
It's grey. Yeah. Oh, it's grey. It's grey. It was grey. It was grey. But it looked green on the picture, so I'm not taking all the blame for that. All right.
No, the green. Most of the picture was grass, to be fair, and it was in a cutting. So, I know I get it, but that's not going to change it.
It's still it's grey. It's grey. Okay, we'll go to another question. Yay.
Oh, don't go up there. I'm sorry. One of my, yeah. You can cross the line over there with the other overpass.
Okay. Oh, I managed to answer this one earlier, but I'll let you answer this one, Johannes. Can AC and DC, not the band, be chosen by the player on free roam?
That would be cool if the band could be chosen, like some little radio.
Back in black.
I believe the licensing may be a problem for that one.
Yeah. I had to look into music, and it's really hard to find unlicensed music for scenarios.
Yes.
You might spot some custom music, which I managed to find for the Christmas chaos scenario. Anyway, distracted. Yes, you can choose both AC and DC, and indeed you will need to if you want to get the thing out of the depot.
Yeah, it's up here.
Yes, it is. You press
you'll need it. Also, one of the
down.
scenarios you need to use it as well, as you were saying earlier on.
Yeah, exactly. So if you
do you want to talk about? Do you want to talk about the scenarios? Do you want to have a little? Do you want to touch on the scenarios? I don't think I've asked you about that properly.
Well, we went over them in the beginning of the stream where I was introducing them. I don't want to spoil too much. I put some nice little extras in there. I think they should be all fun. Some custom scenery, some custom construction sites for the engineering works or so. So. Yes,
I remember people were both panicked and excited about the red scenario.
The Christmas chaos.
Yes, yes. It was both. It was like panic, but good panic. It was like, yes, we're gonna do terribly at this, but it's gonna be okay because it'll be fun. It was that kind of panic.
On that one,
panic.
To make it red, basically what I did was I put down. I adjusted the dispatcher in a way that then you're not getting a green signal out of some of the stations, and then if you have a lot of snow. And you're not braking very well, then you might run through them. So I tried to make it a little bit harder and challenging.
Exterior departure. All right. Shall we just go quiet for a minute so we can do an exterior departure so they can listen to sounds?
Okay.
Sure. No, sorry.
Oh, I don't need to do it now. to go.
My God, that was really, really difficult. Whew.
I had to distract my brain and do some other stuff.
Do you know what? I didn't technically shut up because I was still yapping away in the chat instead. I can't help myself. We'd be in trouble if I needed to do a sponsored silence, I can tell you that.
Well, yeah, I feel our brains are too much alike.
They're noisy. We just have noisy brains, okay?
Exactly.
Everybody in the chat is acting as if they don't lie awake at 2 a.m. wondering how much a hurdy-gurdy costs and how hard a hurdy-gurdy would learn how to play, and if there are any actually songs that would sound good on a hurdy-gurdy, because sometimes the hurdy-gurdy sounds bad, and then sometimes it will just think about the existential dread of outer space, and that's just what it's like. Trying to be quiet. Your brain will immediately go into, oh, I've got to be quiet now, and then your brain starts to be loud instead, and instead goes, isn't it weird that there's nothing outside of space? You can't comprehend that with your little human brain, and that's what happened. See, now everyone in the chat is saying, oh, it was nice having some quiet, and they're going to regret that. They're going to regret it.
Well. I've just seen a really interesting question in the chat. Someone asked if the planes in the sky going to Heathrow or London City, and I can say both. So I had some beta testers getting really excited about flight paths and all that kind of stuff. So
we know who Eddie is.
Okay, I don't know if I know.
Eddie is infamous in the beta team. He's in the airline industry, so he's very passionate about that. Huge credit and huge thank you to Eddie. The amount of effort and work he puts into making sure we have everything we need for accurate flight plan information is absolute credit. So no, very grateful. Be tempting to make a thing out of it, but actually really grateful.
Yeah, absolutely. And he looked up the flight paths for me and got them out, and so I can now partly say they are accurate. And but just thinking, coming out and going into city and into Heathrow as well. I'm just wondering. I think I even got one into Stansted coming down. Yeah.
That was a good question, and I like when somebody is paying paying good attention. They're able to drown out the noise of us, and they're able to concentrate on what is going on. Is there gonna be guard mode?
Easy to answer. Nope. There's no guard mode in real life. At least not in that time period. I was made aware that the 378 has guard panels, but they haven't been used for years now, and we have Oyster cards and everything. So
I think even back in the days of Silverlink, they didn't use guards, or they didn't use guards consistently because the line was renowned for people not, traveling without paying. Was one of the reasons that adding all the barriers was kind of like, how do we fix the problem with this this line when TfL took it over? So. No, I think that it might have had guards, but I'm not sure if there were enough guards. The usual problem under funding.
I've seen this question pop up a few times, and I can answer this one because the last time I've seen it was: is there going to be a March roadmap? We are in February, so be of that what you shall make it. But it's a roadmap. It's a roadmap. Keep your eye out, and when a roadmap is announced, you shall know. I gotta have a little sass occasionally, just a little sassy. I love this one. I've been looking forward to this one. I've been very excited about this one because I'm curious about this one. Are there any special locations that can be walked to, or for some interesting train spotting or bus spotting? We did already see one earlier, or DLR gawking, considering the AI layers.
So I'd say every time we cross the main line, you can sit there, walk there, and have a nice look with your photo mode as well to spot something. I didn't put any extra paths or benches in to sit on because there are none in real life. These are the places where you shouldn't be walking because it's right next to the track. But there are a lot of nice places where you can spot a lot of different trains and a lot of layers. All the AI layers I put in should be the accurate layers, like crossing the East Coast Main Line, very busy. We have a lot of 700s there, a lot of Azumas. Yeah. I think I have the 387, the Gatwick Express livery thing we have, right? That's a 387.
Mm-hmm.
That is in to represent some Northern trains, Great Northern. How are they called? Oh, I'm sorry. I will swap them for the reskins that when they are out with.
Oh, I know the ones. On the Midland Main Line, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, the 387s are on there. Yeah, I know the ones you mean. I think that is Great Northern. Yeah.
Yeah, they go out of King's Cross, and so yeah, they're all accurate. They're all the real timetable. I didn't put any downscaling in there, so you can spot all of these. And yeah, the Midland Main Line is crossed 3 times, 2 times. I don't know. And yeah, we're crossing a lot of interesting lines. West Coast Main Line, you can see the 390s, you can see the 350s. You can see, I even put the Southern service in, the 1 hourly Southern service into stops at Watford Junction these days, right? Yeah. And freight services on these routes as well, so you can spot a lot of trains there.
It's a good one. I was excited about that when I saw that one earlier, and I was like, oh, that's a really good question. Because it's just sometimes nice to just sit around and train spot in game, because you're not. There's some places. There are some places that I'm not going to go in real life to do that. Go to London though. London's nice. I like London. That's not to say that London. I'm not going to go to London. I've been to London lots of times. London's lovely. I'm almost used to using the underground system, and whenever we pass, whenever we go near Elephant and Castle, I'm always like, oh, the haunted one. Whoa! And I've not seen a ghost yet though. But I love London. We did have a nice comment from somebody, Johannes, that says, I hope Johannes sticks to creating London content.
Yeah.
Which is what we were talking about earlier. Because you're not doing Wigan.
No, I think London will still be my place. London will still be... Yeah, I think there is a lot London has to offer, and I will stay with UK content. People, I think, have asked that before as well. If I'm staying with the UK, if I'm moving to German stuff. Because if you haven't noticed, I am German. I have no real plans for German stuff yet. And I think there's lots of work to do around London.
We have a nice suggestion section of the forums, but you already have your giant list of things that you'd like to do, but time is finite. Not to give everyone another existential crisis.
To be fair, these suggestion forums, what really helps is having someone giving you a realistic scope that makes a lot of sense. Not like, oh, I want that line and I want all the trains that go down the line, but something that is a round package, something that makes a lot of sense gameplay wise as well, something that is within realistic scope. Because if someone goes to me and tells me, yeah, I want that main London terminus, and please make all the 10 different new rolling stock that goes in and out of that one, I'm like, yeah, I'd love to, but
I think there is a Matt, have you written a Oh gosh, my brain is completely. Have you written? Have I? Did I have one of my 3 a.m. epiphanies where I think I've imagined something? Did you write like how to make suggestions bit?
Yeah.
Did you
There's
write?
a sticky
You
post
did.
on the it's a sticky post in the thread.
Okay, good. I thought I'd had one of my moments. Somebody earlier said that I need to be hospitalised, and we're not going to talk about that. All right, I'm very normal. We have I think my favourite question of I think we have my favourite question of the night, and I think Matt would like this one as well. So Johannes, what part of the route are you most proud of?
For me, it's the section between Gospel Oak and Camden Road, the thing where you go on the elevated track, basically in the middle of a very busy part of the city. I would say, like, Camden is still considered kind of, it's not central London, but it is as central as you can get with an overground railway line. And getting that to life, and not tanking the performance, because there's so many details. Everything, if you go above ground, if you go on an elevated section, getting all these details in without the game actually being too full of details is, I'm pretty happy how that turned out. Second thing I'd say, traffic at Stratford is always incredibly nice to watch. I love just being around, seeing all the different kind of trains.
We passed that area earlier. Wow, that's really. I've just heard my own accent and realised that it's terrible and hard to understand. We passed that area earlier. Is that right? That is right. That's me.
And we will go over it again with the freight service. And
Yes. Yes.
We need to have a look at the skyline as well, because what I can also say is almost all major skyscrapers are at the right location. So if you look back down, you see Canary Wharf, you see all these, where you stop beautifully. Man.
I think TBWS stopped me, but okay, I'll take the credit.
Oh, it's gone in the fog now. We can't even see as far as Canary Wharf. Oh, that's a shame.
It's just a great level of detail. You've I was honestly when somebody said what's your what are you most proud of, I was sat there going it's okay to say the whole thing. You can say the whole thing.
Part of the whole thing. I am.
The whole thing.
Well, there we go. There we have Canary Wharf. I added these little what are they called? Like these little lights that planes don't go into.
Aircraft. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's even got the multicolored building on the side there. Look.
Yep.
I remember that going in because I used to commute up and down the Great Eastern Main Line to Liverpool Street, and that building was always a standout for me with all its funky plastic lighting or glass lighting on it, or the clutter glass on it.
That checks out. I can also tell you where I got it from. I stole it from the Train Sim Classic. But
why not? Did the job.
Exactly, and it's probably there because you remember it or something.
Oh no, I remember calling it out with the team when they did it last time, but they didn't need my help to get that there.
Ah, nice. I'm just, now that we lost that service, it's kind of funny. I didn't intend to do one of the services that pull into platform 11, but there are limited numbers that don't stop at the overground platforms, and that apparently was one of them, which we just did.
Right, shed. Pick the correct shed. 12:16. There it is.
That one.
Daytime. And you want snowfall, so we want.
I want snowfall. Oh yeah, then we don't see the skyline either.
Light snow?
Yeah, light snow is fine.
Let's go ahead and put the snow level to maximum, but it's on light snowing. So, lots of bad.
It's kind of funny. I love the London in the snow, but it's very unrealistic.
Snow in London? Does it snow in London?
I've been there. I think there was snow 18 to 19.
It's very rare these days, isn't it?
Yeah.
To be honest, snow is everywhere nowadays. We don't tend to get a lot of snow anymore, even up north.
Someone above just said, will you see those buildings on console? I'm gonna go ahead and say I wouldn't expect so. Have you put them on the persistent tile, or are they on?
Yeah, they're persistent.
In that case, you may well see them. If they're on the persistent tile, you probably will see them.
All the skyscrapers are persistent and therefore visible
From
to
wherever.
anyone because
Yeah.
they are very low polygon models,
Okay.
so that shouldn't be much of an issue.
That's good then. So yes, the answer is you will.
Somebody said good night, but I just thought I'd read this out. Johannes, they've said great stream. We'll be getting this route on Tuesday morning. Really excited. Really excellent work, Johannes. Thank you.
I'm glad people like it.
Yes, it comes out on the 4th of March, which is next Tuesday. We had a question earlier that we've had a couple of people ask this question as well, which is, do the buses on the streets in game reflect real routes or bus corridors?
Easy answer, no. They are just AI traffic. They're all line 7. I was greatly amused by some speculations on the forums. It's like, is there any meaning to the 7 and anything? No, just 7 is just my favorite number. No secret meaning there. I remember being told by TFL, that was one of their feedback, that they wanted these destination boards to not be empty. So I put just the special service in 7 in. They're not reflecting any real bus services.
It looks good though. It just looks good. And I wouldn't have. I mean, I'm not particularly bus savvy, so I wouldn't have, unless it's it's the 158, or as I like to call it, the 15 Great, which is the bus near my area. But I think if it just looks like a great area anyway. I love Camden anyway. It's my favourite bit of London.
It's a fun bit.
It's good. I love Camden.
Good music there. Celebrated
Good food.
my which birthday? 24th birthday there, I think. So
It's I'm a big fan of Camden. Big fan.
My wife spends a lot of time in Camden doing sound engineering for various places like Dublin Castle every now and again, and places like that.
He has a cool job. I didn't know that. Oh, Pink! Hi, Barbie! Oh my god! How have I never seen this? How have I never seen the pink Class 66? It's beautiful, look at it. We are now on our freight section of the stream. We're in the snow.
Moving very slowly. I think we're pulling it up, still up the hill back there. It's coming from the East Coast
mainland. Brakes to all release as well.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, magenta. Well, you can't trust me with my colours, to be honest with you. I didn't know the difference between green and grey, so you can't be asking that. It just looks pink to me. Pink. Actually, I've got night mode on my PC now, so it kind of looks orange pink because everything is slightly orange. Because I have the eyes of a 90-year-old woman, and I go, oh, that's a bit bright. Any donkeys?
What?
So all
I don't know. Somebody's asking if there's donkeys.
All dovetail routes, the art team put a donkey somewhere. It's kind of a signature. It's a bit like Cuneo used to put a mouse somewhere on his paintings. Our team put a donkey somewhere, but that's normally a dovetail thing. I wouldn't expect it for somebody else. Although it's an idea, it might be a nice idea to sort of think of something like that. Players like to humble it out.
Yeah.
The
You
Easter
have a
eggs.
signature thing, yeah.
I've never seen a donkey.
No. I mean, I'm not familiar with all the dovetail inside things.
Neither am I. Apparently, Johannes, because I did not understand the donkey comment at all.
Okay.
What do you know what's even worse? Even more incredible? The donkeys all have names and background stories.
Okay.
Yeah, it's kind of a when I talked to the art team, apparently they a different member of the art team sort of takes the mantle to do something with the donkey, and they have a central spreadsheet. I keep threatening to write a little article up talking about the donkeys, for Dovetail Live, but I haven't had time to go and do it yet because I was surprised actually. I just thought they just put a donkey in the route, but actually they go to a lot more level than that, like making whole custom bits of scenery. Like the donkey on Spirit of Steam is incredible. They've like made this whole barn, and the donkey is like it's fallen asleep drunk on carrots or something, like with loads of carrots splattered around it. It's fascinating, that level of detail.
Interesting. Yeah, I've seen a couple of, like, exploring other routes, I've seen a couple of nice Easter eggs. I think in one of your Train Sim Classic London routes there are some cows on the Millennium Bridge somewhere.
Oh yes, yes, we have had cows. Where did I see them? I'm looking at Train Sim World 5 donkeys.
Yeah, what I've noticed and what I really liked is so I've hidden some, or not quite hidden, some station cats. So there will be cats of different colors at different stations. We named it even. That's something I've been told, and I think Danny said that every cat needs to be called Bob, so I called it Bob. Bob the station cat. I have also a very good friend of mine is called Bob. I think he might be watching, so shout out to Bob. He's now part of the route as a station cat, or multiple.
You're famous, Bob. You're famous.
Exactly. But I love like going through the files. For every color of the cat, you have different names of these cats, and these cat names are amazing. I think the grey cat is called Gandalf. So.
Gandalf.
Yeah.
That's a good name for a grey cat.
I know. My cat was called Chewy.
Also a great name for a cat.
Yeah, I missed that cat. He was very stupid.
Like
me. He was just matching my personality.
Oh, you're not stupid. You just have... Hang on, you said earlier we've got the same brain, Johannes, so you can't say that. You can't be saying that. See, you thought I'd let that... You thought I'd forget that. No, because I took it as a compliment. I'm like, wow, what a nice thing to say. I'm being compared to somebody that made an entire route completely alone and did it in under a year. I'm like, yeah, I do have a big brain, but apparently not.
Oh well, it's at least for me, it's a love and hate relationship with my brain, and it tells me a lot of interesting things, and sometimes I wish it don't need to listen all the time to what it says.
Oh yeah, you don't want to. Oh my god, I've just noticed that somebody in the chat said you wouldn't survive a quiet place, Harry.
Ouch.
No, don't be laughing. No, you'll encourage the behaviour. It's like, you can't do that. You know when a kid does something naughty and the adults laugh and the parent has that face where they're like, oh no, don't laugh because they'll keep doing it. That's what'll happen. I've got my eye on you, Joshua. I'll be fine in a quiet place. I could be quiet. Apart from no. We'll go back to some questions.
I have a quick question for Matt about the game, because I've just noticed we're creeping up here with like 13 miles an hour because it's in that snow, almost impossible to go faster here. I think he's trying his best. But as far as I know, and if that train would be an AI service, that would go faster, right? Because it's not simulating the whole physics.
There's only basic physics undone on the AI, and that doesn't include any kind of addition.
Which is good, because would probably tank performance incredibly if we would simulate every train. But
it's a lot more advanced than Train Sim Classic's AI physics, but it's a fraction of what Simulgraph does. So, for example, if the train is not powerful enough to get up the hill, it won't get up the hill. But in Train Sim Classic, it would. Yeah, it just go up there slowly. But I don't think adhesion is taken into account. So yeah, an AI train would come up here much faster.
Which is good. That's what I was about to say. It's really good that they do, because otherwise it would be impossible for you to keep your schedule. Because it's an incredibly busy route. Cool. You got more questions, Harry?
I did have more were going to touch, just to take a break from Mildmay questions. We had a question about the odd frame rate drop, Matt, and I know that you wanted to touch on this.
Yeah, so frame rate drops, and also I think one of the other questions you've got in there is blurry textures and all sorts of things like that. So we don't have any results to share at the moment. It's still ongoing, but we do have people looking at that from various different angles. Which once they're looking at both frame rate and memory side of things. So starting to see some potentially interesting ways forward. So I think there is ways that we can bring the game forward, in a decent way, but we just need to continue that process, get through to some results, and make some changes, and then we can sort of measure the improvement there. It's going to be an iterative process. I don't imagine we're going to find one thing that does it in one hit. Oh, hello. Don't know what happened there. All my brakes have just come on.
Interesting.
And I think it stalled the engine. Oh no, it hasn't.
Roller coaster. I thought we were driving a shed, but we're on a roller coaster apparently. My emotions. Oof.
So yeah, there will be when we got news to share on that, we'll let you know for sure. But at the moment, we don't.
Yes. The community absolutely loves it. When I say when we know, you'll know. They think it's great. They love it. It's their favourite thing for me to say, and it definitely. But it's true. As soon as we know something, you will know. He didn't break it. He just. I can't make an excuse for you right now, Matt. I can't do it. I don't know.
I have no idea what happened. I must have done something, but I have no idea what. It's all the brakes suddenly applied.
It will be interesting how you will get this started now. About what you said, Harry.
1.1% gradient. This is not going to be fun.
Yeah, you will have fun getting that back up again.
That'll be okay. The pink diva.
Not sure if it is.
The pink wafer. Somebody called it a pink wafer earlier. Oh no! Oh no! Okay.
It might not.
While Matt is, oh no. While Matt is definitely not struggling, we'll go on to another question. Matt is completely.
Yeah,
Matt is completely not struggling. We'll get out and push if we need to.
Something you said, Harry, about like when we know, the community knows. I've now got the insight from the other side as well. And lots of people always ask like, when will it be out? When do we have a release? And I think I could say for Mildmay, it's been pretty much announced once we knew the fixed date, because there was so much going on, especially with me as a third party one, so many uncertainties that it's pretty much impossible to commit to some release window early on. I had lots of dates in my mind working towards to, and we had lots of provisional stuff going on, but we never really I think everything has mostly been communicated once there has been something official been said. So yeah.
You're getting some advice in the chat, Matt. I don't know whether you're looking at the chat, but you're getting some advice in case you need it. But you're moving. You're moving.
It's fine, isn't
it? It's going really well. It's going really well. We're doing good. Everything is okay. Everything is
the
fine.
reason we weren't moving before was because the brake hadn't gone off on the rest of the train. So that was what we literally, now we've got the brake off on the rest of the train. Now the question is to try and do a hill start.
The advice that somebody said is sand, but that's snow. Silly.
So the sand goes on automatically usually.
I've got sand on.
I think we're in the low adhesion zone as well. I think that's unfortunate. It's a very bad place to stop.
Bought another 66 Yeah, the other one.
Go out, spawn yourself another 66 and continue. Yeah, you could do that.
Yeah, totally fine, completely fine. It's gonna be fine. Everything is fine. It's completely fine. Hey, look, Matt, if you want to put the cameras back on, it's okay. There's no shame here. I if it were me, you're doing a better job than I would, because I would pretend that my PC has crashed. I
Please
would.
don't do that on my road. That would it make the impression that it's unstable. No, okay.
Do a little like kick the wires at the back of the PC is great. Now if something actually does happen, look, it's me. I've had it before where I've been streaming and my PC cables stick out, because despite being a hardware engineer, my cable management is disgusting. So I occasionally kick the cables, and everyone will go, "Oh, the stream is completely frozen." I'm like, "Oh, it's I've kicked the cables. I kick the cables constantly."
Fair.
But,
No problem.
yeah, don't worry, Matt. I'll drive. Sign me up. Sign me up. I said I could do it with my eyes closed, and that might have been an exaggeration, but we'll find out. We'll find out. I'll go on to another question. Ooh, this one is wordy. 1 second. I like that I had a look at this earlier, and I was like, oh, I'll just like shorten these questions, because sometimes they get, there's like extra conversation going on around them, and I'm like, oh, this is wordy.
Oh. Oh.
What happened? I look away for a second.
Jess is just watching the back of the train.
Oh, maybe I could reverse back a little bit. No.
It's a very busy route.
No.
What are you doing, train? The throttle's off.
Okay, let me have a look at the chat, Matt. Let me see. We're not. We're gonna have to go. Push. Somebody had some advice. Okay. Lewis, what did you say, Lewis? You had advice, and I went, oh, that sounds.
You know what I'm gonna do.
Oh no! Don't give up, Matt.
I'm not
No,
giving
he's
up.
getting the second. He's getting the
Gonna
second.
get another loco.
Are you gonna use it? Are you gonna use it to try and pull it out of the snow? You're gonna like towing it? No, it's coupling. Is it coupling? It's coupling.
No, it can't spawn it because it's got a signal path.
Oh, you can't spot. Oh no.
No.
Can't spawn it because it's got a signal path.
Okay. That's
bye, train.
that is you need a rescue. You need to be rescued.
That would be nice scenario.
Little there's a somebody stuck, and you have to look at that train making fun of you, Matt, making fun of you, saying, look at me, I can move completely fine, what's wrong with you? Oh gosh. Oh. Poor Pink 66. Oh no. Okay.
I
Let's.
think that's a good example for people. I've got a few people saying, oh, they don't enjoy these like modern EMU commuter routes where you just go up and down. It's so easy to drive combined. Well, you can challenge yourself.
Stop on a hill.
There's a lot of challenge and a lot of interesting things, and that in a very busy area where Matt is causing a massive delay. I don't want to see the departure board on the next station.
Oh no. We're all good. We're gonna be okay. I'm just gonna do another question. You can see what's going on.
Moving forward, isn't it?
Is it? It is. Is it? Is it? Or is it
Yeah,
wishful
yeah.
thinking? Or are we?
No, it is.
Oh
Lewis,
my
that'll
goodness.
just wheel slim. I tried something similar earlier on. That'll just wheel spin.
Somebody said, okay. He said, Matt, your brakes aren't fully released. Look at the gauge.
I'm trying. Yeah, no, I'm
focus.
trying. As soon as I release these brakes too much, I'm trying to use the brakes to hold it from spinning too much. But as soon as I release the brakes just a bit more, the stuff starts spinning.
Oh, see, this is people are talking like they've
There you
never
go,
had their
see?
car stuck in the mud before.
So I've just released the brakes are still on, and you can see it
We're going
just trying
backwards
to
now.
fight with it, and it's still losing it.
It's good. This is good detective Vink. How do we get a lovely 66 to get moving again without being able to spawn in a rescue train?
Someone says engage the creep speed on 66. You can make it like a slow speed thing on the left, right?
Yeah, that's the and I've got to do slow speed, select. I've got to select it with the thing, haven't I?
You're getting you've got there's some cheerleading going on in the chat, Matt. He can do this. You can do this. You've got this. We're gonna be here for 3 hours, but you got this.
I have nothing to do tonight, and I can talk about the route. I can fill that with content. We should.
I gotta sleep. That's what I gotta do. Right. Let me ask you this question now that I can finally read it.
There we go.
That I've read
There we
it
go.
100 times. Oh, is something happening?
Ooh.
That seems to be controlling the speed now, isn't it? Still giving loads
Goodness.
of hours. But no, we're moving. We're moving. Maybe the 378 is pushing us forward now.
A little bit of support in the back.
Moving.
Someone is suggesting like leave the containers, just go back. And
Walk.
Just leave the containers. I don't care about the containers. Why am I bothering myself with the containers? I mean, we're like just almost at the top. Yeah. It's like this is the top here.
But what if the containers have important stuff in them? Like
Yeah, someone says reverse back down the line. Yeah, well, there is a 378 right next to them, next to us, so we cannot really go any backward.
Someone said don't go over notch 4. I can't do over notch 1. I just put it on notch 2 to see what would happen, and bad things.
Now we're going backward again.
Yeah, it lost grip.
oops.
There we go. We're going again. We're going again. At this speed, we will be there by next week.
I thought like, oh, I'll have a look at this. Like, I think the fight run is not longer than 20 minutes or something, but at this speed.
Oh my goodness. Okay.
20 minutes, rounded to the nearest day.
I'm gonna ask you the next. I'm gonna ask you the next question. Will. Oh wait, have we already? Oh no. This is a very. It's wordy. It's wordy. 1 second. 1 second. I'll ask the one after this, and then I'll go back to this one because I'm just gonna rewrite it because my brain is getting lost in asking it. There's a lot of names being thrown out. Okay. That was. I'll get back to that one. Okay. No, we've already answered that one because it's about the. Well, would there be a link for the DLR from Stratford to Stratford International on the DLR so that we can route hop at Stratford International?
You can route hop, well, not through the DLR, but you at the end of the platform I put a route hopping beacon in, so and you can route hop to Stratford International there.
Okay. I'll go back to. I'm still trying to. Okay, I'll read this out, but I think I'm struggling to read it out. I don't think that ADHD medication is working right now. Okay. Will the class 378 capital star layer on to the remastered GWE at either end of Old Oak Common Depot where the Mildmay Line crosses from Willesden Junction to Richmond and Clapham Junction. That's
I
not
can't answer.
in...
That's something Liam needs to answer, I suppose.
Yeah. Okay. That is my God, I really struggled with that one. Sorry about that. I was reading it a bunch of times, and I think it was all of the names being thrown out at me, and my brain was not doing good at that one.
Fair. No,
oh my goodness, I need more sleep.
I've been talking to Liam, and he has plans. I don't know what they are. It's his place to tell. And but all I can say, we've been in contact. We've been exchanging ideas, and he's a really nice guy.
He's everybody likes him. Okay, so next. Oh, we did that one. Will the class 378 support the suspension feature?
It does.
Yeah, it
Yes.
is. Suspending.
Well, I managed to double the speed.
Oh.
From
That's
accelerating. I'm just being
And we're not even at
really
bottom.
gentle with the with releasing the wheel brake so that I don't lose the grip again.
Yeah, it would be so frustrating if we lose the grip again and go to a standstill, because we make like slow progress. It takes forever,
Yeah.
and then
It's moving. So that suspension feature, yes. What was the creation process like?
of what, the whole thing.
I guess so. I think
guess so.
it's I think they're just kind of
don't
asking
remember
you. I think maybe to provide context to that question. I'm sorry if this is incorrect. Question asker. I think they're asking kind of about, was it difficult, or did you have a nice time, or were there any points of difficulty? It's your
I
process.
can ramble for a long time about that. It's the short answer is it was chaotic. That's just mainly me, because I haven't done any of this. So my background, I haven't done any Unreal Engine development before. I've only have experience a little bit in 3D modeling, and I only I know I can program, but everything else was completely new to me. So I was just trying things out, looking at things. There's a lot of like looking at the other routes, all Dovetail content I got access to see how things are set up, looking at the train setup, looking at all these things, and then playing around with it. And like in retrospect, I would do a lot. Like I learned a lot, and I would do a lot of things different from the start. But that's the process. And the cool thing is, there's always something interesting. It's like one day you can place down scenery, drawing fences, like even scenery work, line side details, everything that's close to the lines, that requires more attention to detail. And then I think there's also an art to composing the background, and so that once you look right, left and right in the map, you get a feeling of being somewhere rather than being in a tunnel of very detailed line side things and trees left and right, and then nothing after that. And yeah, there's so much fun. Like if we look at this, these little line side lamps we just seen on like the junction lights. One day I made the 3D model for that, and then so many different things you can do. But then also towards the end, I needed to get that into like close up the whole project, and I needed to do round it up and add all the little things I didn't make progress on. There we go. Yeah, I don't think there was much point. I don't think there was.
You're not doing anything, are you? You're
No.
Matt,
No,
something-
it's stalled out, and that was it. I was right on the cusp of it, and then I let it go just a fraction of a pound too far on the loco brake,
Yeah.
and letting it all ground to a halt instantly, and that was it. I couldn't get it going. It doesn't help that it went from 0.8% to 1.1% as well. So I don't think that train was going anywhere.
If it's any help, the cheerleading that was going on in the chat turned into Matt, please stop torturing us.
No.
I didn't want to say anything. But
yeah.
But we got stuck.
Yeah. One quick question. I don't know how these streams work, but can you get the game up and have a quick look at I think Kentish Town West, and we can have a look at the skyline. There it is. At some better day. Because what I've did as well as I placed down all these skyscrapers and all the skyline in the background. So there are a lot of you can spot in between a few houses and a few trees. You can spot the real thing. Kentish Town West.
Kentish Town West, 12 o'clock. July, clear, no clouds.
These are nice screenshots. I keep forgetting how the game looks when it's not on the development branch.
Full credit to those that submit all the stuff into the competitions.
Yeah. It's my one of my favourite things to look at. I'm a big screenshot nerd.
Yeah.
I love screenshots. So that used to be my whole job. My entire job was taking screenshots. Used to be, not for TSW.
Yeah.
But
yeah. No, I didn't want to interrupt you. Sorry.
No, it's okay. I was yapping.
Let's say either spawn a train, or if you go into photo mode or something, we can have a very busy week.
I'll take over this one.
Yeah, you can do that. That's the other thing. I just like spawning on foot, because I don't need to time it in any way. There are enough services that you can just go to a station and just pop up, go for a couple of stations, and then pop them, let go of the service again.
Did you just kick somebody out?
Yeah.
You just kick
I'm
somebody
so good
out?
at as previously demonstrated, my driving is so good I should evict every driver, so that the passengers get quality of service. That's it.
We got Matt. We got Matt kicking a driver out of the train before we got GTA 6. That's crazy. That's crazy.
Very recognisable skyline, actually. Everything you expect is there.
Yeah,
and they're all at the right point and all at the right thing. So it's a busy skyline. London is a very busy skyline. So
yeah.
It's accurate scenery. It's
yeah, I remember making these houses as well. The houses in front we can see. These are these were originally Transport Fever 2 mods, and I just had a look at Google Street View doing some London houses. So they they exist at some. They're copied of some existing place. And yeah, that bit has been fun.
We love a bit of route detail.
Yeah.
It's
exactly.
Very good. Very good.
We talked about this earlier about the skyline on Xbox, and what was the answer to that? It was basically we kind of
there.
It's
I don't see a reason why it not be.
Yeah.
It's not I didn't set a max.
If it's in the persistent tile, if it's on the persistent tile and the draw distances are set up, then it should be fine. The reason things get cold on the Xbox is if they're actually placed on the landscape tile, scenery tiles.
Yeah.
Because we only load them out at a smaller distance than on PC.
That makes sense. Yeah.
We don't have
Cool.
Gregs. We don't have a Gregs in this. Okay. There's
Yeah,
a couple more questions. Some of these have been answered. We did neutral sections. We talked about the creation process. We talked about that. We talked about. In fact, I think these are all just the questions that I've added from this evening that that we've just talked about. We've got some questions that I've tacked on to the end there, Matt, which are more dovetail specific, I think. It's occasionally we'll get questions on the Q&A that might be a bit more dovetail specific.
If they're more general, then I would suggest we push them onto the roadmap because that's the appropriate forum for those. If they're dovetail questions related to Mildmay, then sure, let's take them.
That one's definitely roadmappy. This one,
Someone's asking about the maps. Go on, carry on. Sorry.
Oh no, that's okay. I think I need to check this one. I think this is maybe a Harry specific one, but I might need to check it unless somebody else knows. Will there be any pre-order or loyalty discounts available?
I don't know the answer to that.
I think that's a me question. I think that is a me question, and I will find an answer to that. And if we have not been able to answer, something on stream, then the questions get posted in the Q&A section on the forums, and then that will get locked after those have been. I don't know why I added some festivity to that, but that's what it is. Mastery. People are asking about mastery. Is that
What's
an
the
us
mastery
one?
tile? Don't know. Johannes, do you know what the mastery tile is?
Yeah, sorry, I've just been out for a second with internet connection. But the mastery tile is the Dalston market. So there's a little market next to Dalston, Kingsland. And I put in that market, so that will be the mastery tile.
What is the top speed of? What's the top speed of this train? I'm assuming that they're asking
the top
about
speed
the 3...
of the 378 is 75, I think. Yeah, 75 miles an hour, but you can only go 45 on this route.
Oh, 75. But you can do 45. Okay. Nice. I think.
Yeah, it says 75 in the cab.
Oh, we've got one question in the chat that says, are timetable times like real life or simulated?
They are based on the real timetable.
Yes. I think that's all of the questions. It will be fun. It is going to be a fun day for me tomorrow when I timestamp this, because the Q&A section is basically the entire stream. But what I will do when I timestamp it is, hello, people that clicked on the timestamp, hello. The whole stream, if you didn't want to watch it, you should, because it's good. But if you don't want to watch the whole stream, the questions will be answered on the forums. And I'll even add a link to the description of the video when those have been answered. So, hello, timestamp people, and goodbye, timestamp people. That is it, because we answered all the questions while we were going through it. We didn't have a specific section for it. But I think, have we shown everything that you would like to show, Johannes?
I think so. I start running out of things that I can still get I can still leak to the community that is exciting, which is good because we're releasing that now. I think if there are still open questions, my suggestion would be buy the route and look for yourself. But no, kidding.
We're not spoiling everything.
I definitely don't spoil everything. There are details in stations and stuff that hasn't been shown yet, and I don't think it's a good thing that there are still things for people to explore. Yeah, but I think covered the main things. The main things. We have lots of AI traffic. We have the Rootmaster in. We have a very London feel. We have lots of custom skyscraper. We have the whole Stratford Olympic Park area with the orbital, all these things. I'm really excited to finally get this thing out, see feedback from players, and
Excellent. Perfect. Everyone just seems really excited about it.
Have we confirmed the cost of the route on the stream?
I'm about to.
Oh, okay.
I am about to go through the admin. You wouldn't let me. I thought that we would want to do our roundup first.
Go for it.
But Mildmay Line will be out on the 4th of March, which is next Tuesday. I think it's out at the normal times, so that'll be 10 a.m. for consoles and 6 p.m. or 4 p.m. for Epic, and then 6 p.m. for Steam. The cost of it is £24.99, or €29.99, or $29.99. I've already talked about when it is out. That's one. I'm sure that Johannes would really appreciate your feedback on this, so that all of those ideas that is flying around in Johannes's head might come to, maybe not all of them. That would literally take forever. Would be keeping you until you were 90 if that was the case, because London is massive. But I hope that everybody's really enjoyed this evening. I know I have. It's been wonderful to have you on, Johannes. You've been brilliant to talk to, and it's been great having that insight into Mildmay.
Definitely. Thank you.
Yeah, no, thank you for having me. I'm looking forward to making more of these to good occasions. And thank you for having me. It's been lovely to be here. Had a great time.
It's been lovely to speak. This is my first guest that we've had. So I hope we've made a good impression, Johannes, and that me and Matt haven't frightened you too much. Me with my yapping, and Matt with his definitely really great driving. Great.
I decided to do a route on my own. So it's hard to find me away from anything.
I'm excited to jump into Mildmay myself, especially knowing that I can look. As long as there's a 66 on there, I'm straight in. I'm straight over there. I'll be taking some screenshots. I like doing a little capture stream, so I might see if we can pencil that in. But I will supply links on Tuesday. All of the as soon as it goes out everywhere, you will be getting inundated with us talking about how it is being released. But that's it. That is it. Thank you so much for joining us, everybody. Thank you so much, Johannes. It has been a really, really fun evening. Thank you, as always, for driving Matt, and to our fantastic mods, and for everybody, and to everybody for joining us. And yes, to Walton Goggins.
Just before we wrap up, for those of you where I did a charity stream at the weekend, and for Special Effect, and the total currently stands around £2,800, and then on top of that you have to add gift aid, so it's near enough £3,200. So I just wanted to sort of send a big shout out, because I know a lot of the people in the chat here today joined me on the stream over the weekend. So big thank you to everybody who was there, who donated, who supported in any way, shape or form. Really, really appreciate it. Thank you very much, folks.
Thank you so much, Matt. That's an incredible amount of money raised for a truly incredible charity. That is everything. We can go to sleep or stay awake thinking about hurdy-gurdies and the existential dread of space.
I'm more on the staying awake part of life these days.
Yeah. So basically, we can just have insomnia, collective insomnia, and Matt can maybe have a good night's sleep.
Oh, I'm planning on a good night's sleep. Yeah, totally.
There you
Sounds
go.
good.
Okay, at least one of us is going to have a good night's sleep. Okay, that's as long as it's,
Assuming
one
I
of us.
can, I'm playing Fallout, and so I'm assuming I can put that down. I'll definitely get a good night's sleep.
No, if you're playing Fallout, you are staying awake until 5 o'clock in the morning. I'm staying awake till 5 o'clock in the morning because I have a cookie cake that's made out of Battenberg. So I'm gonna be I'm gonna have too much sugar and just be awake forever. But I've made peace with that. I have indeed made peace with that. But again, thank you so much to everybody for joining us. Thank you so much, Johannes. Mildmay is out on the 4th of March, next Tuesday. It is £24.99 or $29.99 or /euros. And that's it. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining us. Have a wonderful rest of the evening / day, depending on where you are watching us from. And we will see you again very soon.
Cheers, everyone.
Soon.